Mic time.
Mic time. It's shootout time.
Bang.
Yes, we're guitar, amplifier, microphone shootout. We have 4 challengers today.
Short list of some of the better mics to do this with. Of course, nowadays there's a plethora of good microphones you can use for recording guitar. It's a personal preference thing. A lot of it comes down to how you mic your guitar, what kind of tone you're going for, sometimes what your living situation is, because a lot of people are going no mic nowadays. But for those of us who are lucky enough to actually be able to mic up a real amp in a real room with a real microphone, the choices are almost endless. And typically for recording electric guitar, you're going to be spot miking, which is just the technique of putting it on pretty close to the grill cloth, maybe not directly on it, but close to it, within about 1 to 6 inches usually from the grill cloth. And then depending on the orientation, what kind of tone you'll get. But there's a few good mics that you want to look at that are just workhorses. They're staples. They've been tested.
Industry standards.
Yes. So the 4, we've got the staple, the SM57.
Yep.
That's a good one. I own a couple of those. They're good for other things too, like drums. Same thing with one of my other favorites, and one that I brought in personally was the Audix i5. It's very similar to the 57 in both its design, its usages, and then we're gonna try something a little different too. We're gonna use the SM7B.
Why not?
Why not? We got one.
Yep. See a lot of people use those on guitar cabinets.
Works great as a broadcasting mic for its, I guess, originally intended purpose, but also works well for vocals. The guttural metal guys love them. Anthony Kiedis, I guess, has used one. Michael Jackson used one on Thriller. It's actually known as the Thriller mic.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And then, last but not least, our go-to, which we've always used since we've been here, the Sennheiser.
Every video.
The
E609.
609. Which I get confused with the 906 sometimes, so imagine that. But very similar, and we're going to see which one works the best and for what application. So,
so the thought process is we've got it marked on the amp where we're going to put each mic. Joe is going to play a clean, little clean thing, and then a dirty thing. Clean and dirty thing.
That's a little dirty thing.
I mean, 6 inches is about average, so that's as far as mic position.
You only need one, though, usually. Where you put it on the speaker that matters. So,
so clean thing, a dirty thing, and then we're just gonna swap out the mics, and I might do some magical editing and have them back to back.
And it looks like for what it is, we've also got it. It's pretty much directly on axis, not off axis at all.
Pretty much, yeah. It's right on the cone.
And he's got it right on the cone, basically. We've got it marked, so we're gonna get it as close to because of course, if you've ever mic'd anything, you know that sometimes just a slight nudge can make a huge difference in sound. So we're gonna get as close as we can. this is our standby go-to mic. This is the this E609. Mm-hmm. I love this thing because it seems that it's one of the easiest to just throw up there and get a good tone without spending a lot of time worrying about the axis and where it is relative to the dust cap, to the edge of the cone, that kind of thing.
No, there's been many a video where I was like, oh, I forgot to look to see where I just threw it in front of it, and it sounded good every time.
It usually does, pretty much anywhere. So that is this one's definite strong suit. If you were like most of us and you're just a lazy guitar player that does not want to figure out where the sweet spot is, doesn't really care as long as it's loud, this thing's great because it really does make it a lot easier to get a good sound without a whole lot of fuss. So I think that is definitely this one's strong suit, so we'll see if we're right here. So. Alright.
Dirty?
Dirty. Alright, so now we've got our SM7B hooked up. Mm-hmm. I've never owned one of these, so I've never experimented with this at all. So this should be interesting and hear how that sounds.
Yeah.
Broadcast mic, man. Let's see what happens.
Clean tone.
Clean tone. Alright,
dirty.
Dirty.
SM7B.
Alright. From what I've learned in my travels in my studios, that the Audix tends to lend itself better for more hype sounds. So if you're thinking you want to do metal or something like that where you want a bolder tone, maybe a little bit more top end, a little more boom, I find the Audix i5 works better than the 57, which tends to be more mid-range forward. Of course, that's going to cut you through the mix, but if you're really wanting a hyped, punchier tone, I feel like the Audix usually does better, at least in my world with my speakers. So let's see how it sounds. We'll do, again, our clean tone. I think we've already got tone on there. Cool. Now, dirty bit. Forgot my riff. The SM57, so let's see how that sounds.
Dirty? You want to do dirty?
Here's our dirty with the SM, or again the SM57. There it is. So
well, this is going to be weird because we really don't know.
We won't know. So and maybe if anybody that watches this wants to comment, vote to see what you think is the best sounding one.
That's a good idea. I think that's what we'll do.
Or do your civic duty, instead of just voting, go out and actually buy one of these.
Yeah. We sell them.
We sell them except the Audix.
Except for the Audix.
That is true. We don't sell Audix here, so if you do like the Audix best, I'm sorry, you can't get it here from us. But SM57's here, the SM7B's here, and the Sennheiser E609, and usually 906, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of an upgrade.
Yeah, it has some switches.
Has switches, which you may or may not need, probably like a low cat or a decibel pad.
That's exactly what it is.
Typical fare on most microphones, which is great because if you got loud sound sources, those are handy.
Yeah.
But
no, it's going to be interesting. I'm excied to hear what a SM7B is going to sound like. So, and if it sounds good, we might use that a little bit more.
So let us know if you have any suggestions or comments. What's your favorite mic? What do you like to use for recording?
Yeah.
Once long ago, the internet was used just to share information and not fight with each other about everything. So if you have some cool tips or you like, hey, this is what I do, let us know, and we can even help share some of that information with other people, because so the greatest thing about this is we can share this information. So let us know.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Rick.
I'm a whining, buzzing noise.
Yeah, I think it's the Junior Pro Jr.
Bye.